Alright guys, basically today's just going to be a quick sort of trade recap. I want to go over a few things, can maybe, I know maybe you guys get some insight on this as well, but pretty much the premise for the trade, for the short here last night in London was we had run up after midnight, took out the Asia high, didn't break down necessarily, stayed in this new day opening gap. This one here, and this one here are new day opening gaps. This one up here is a new week opening gap with the yellow. And then we kept going higher, and we took out the previous day's high. Okay, so now I was looking. Okay, it's after 2 a.m. So we're in the London session. We've taken out the Asia high already, and we've taken out the previous day's high. Okay, now especially just here when we broke below the new week opening gap low again, this was when I was like, okay, my idea is that we're going to go lower and seek lower prices. So I use this 2 minute, this is a 2 minute inversion fair value gap here. There wasn't really, I mean, there's that one there on the down, like a normal, I guess, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. But I use this inversion fair value gap, this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. On the 2 minute chart, as you can see there, that's that one there. And then, like I said, this run here, I didn't really see anything because it could have just come down here and then kept going higher. Then when it come down on this leg here and broke below that low and then was under the new week opening gap, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go short here. I hate it when it does that. um, so let me just reframe that to where I was. So then I went short here, right here. Now a little bit prematurely, I did have like a 4 pip spread during London with Pepperstone. I don't know why that was. It's usually 1.3. It's Asia right now, so it's 1.5. Okay, fair enough. It's usually 1.3. I don't know why it was 4 last night, but it was 4, so I sort of accounted for that. Went up into the inversion exactly like I wanted to see, totally fine. Started coming down. Okay, great. It broke below this low. Perfect. Comes back up, breaks down again into the new day opening gap. Now, once it did that, my initial stop was above this high. My initial stop was above this high, and then I moved it to this high here. So it was basically minus 20 pips from the entry to the high was minus 20 pips, and I was risking zero, or my max risk at the moment is 0.25%. So uh, it it was like minus $19. It was like minus 0.23 or 22% or something like that. So in line with my risk, totally fine. Then I moved it to here. This was like minus 17 pips or something, you know. So yeah, I'm able to cut my risk as it goes in my favor. Then we get a bounce off that new day opening gap, comes back up into the inversion again and into the new week opening gap. Okay, all good. Then it goes down again. Okay, now when it come down here on this leg, I wanted to see this continue. I wanted to see it I just wanted to see it go straight through this new day opening gap and into my first partial area. As you can see, I was looking for it to take out these lows and into this inefficient sort of area here. Okay, that was the premise on at least this is the first area where it should go. Okay, if it never goes down to the Asia low, okay, all good. This is where I'm thinking this bit here, this is where I'm thinking it should go. Now, when it went down here, my stop was put above this high. Okay. Now, in hindsight, looking back, should I have put it down this tight? Maybe, maybe not. Right. But in saying that, like I said, I wanted to see it on this leg here run down and just go straight down to my first partial. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. And that's why I rolled my stop down here. And then it basically does nothing for like, well, what's that time there? 4:16. For like 45 minutes is that it does nothing. As you can see, it just sort of goes sideways. And then right at 5:01, it just explodes up and takes me up. Okay, and the fill on that one there. If you can see the little blue tick was basically with the spread. There was a little bit of slippage in like the spread and stuff like that. So it got me out pretty much at the high tick of that. So yeah, this is just a little trade recap. Getting stopped out and then it goes exactly where I thought it was going to go. It sucks, but what can I control, right? So you got to think about what you can control. I can control my entry, all right? So was my entry a part of my plan? Yes, it took out liquidity. It broke down. We're down underneath the new week opening gap as well. Okay, I was using this here. I usually do this little sort of thing as I use that swing low as my market structure shift. That's what I was looking at. And then it retraces, totally fine. That's totally fine. Retraces into the inversion fair value. Yep, great. Then we go lower. Okay, so the trade's moving in my favor. I was able to reduce my risk from this high down to this high. So slightly reducing the risk, all good. It comes back up, it drops down, and then on, like I said, on this leg, I wanted to see it just basically just go lower. And that's why I moved my stop there. But on this trade here, orders, like -$6, guys. Like, it doesn't seem like much. It's like minus 0.08% of my account, right? Like, it's really not. It's nothing, right? It's nothing. I was, even though I got stopped out, and if I didn't get stopped out, it would have went exactly where I thought it was going to go. And from here up to my thing it was 85 pips or something like that. Yeah. Even though I would have got, well, what's this? Even though I would have got my first partial at 27 roughly, and then the rest at 85. I don't know what this is going to do. Okay, so you think about it just quickly. Let me just go to bar replay. This is what we're looking at, right? Okay, this is what we're looking at. Like, be honest. Okay, when I saw this, it could have easily just kept going straight up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's a good thing that I was able to reduce my risk. Okay, because the only thing I can control is my entry, which is here, which is following my plan, and I can control my risk, right? So if I can reduce my risk to lower than my initial risk, then I see that as a win. And this is what I sort of want to, I guess, get my point across with this trade recap, is even though it stopped me out, and even though it would have went, what's happened here? Even though it would have went exactly in my favor to where I thought it was going to go, and it would have been great, making 85 pips, I can only control my risk, and like my entry and my risk, and my plan, and whether I'm following the plan. Okay, and losing, I think it was 7.6 pips I lost compared to 20. It was a 20 pip stop on 19.9 at this high. So even though I still took a losing trade, okay, I don't know whether this run here was just going to keep going up and take out this high. Okay, I have my concepts and ideas that I understand, right? You know, to sort of go, okay, it's done this, therefore it should now do this, right? So it's taken out the previous day's high. We're back below the new week opening gap. Therefore, we should see at least it go down to here, or we should see at least it go down to, you know, from this run here, from the Asia low up to here to this high, you know, where's 50% equilibrium? Somewhere here to a discount or something like that, right? So it should at least do that. Now, all it wanted to do was just run up and take out this eye and just come back and take some stops first and then go lower. Okay, all good. But I managed my risk, okay? And that's the point I want to get across is my trading really started to get a lot better when I focused on the risk, not focusing on the target. Like you could sit here and go, oh man, like if I didn't get stopped, man, I literally got stopped out right at the very, tick, and then it literally just went in my favor. Like I would have got 85 pips. Yeah, I would have got this. I would have made so much, bro. Like you don't know whether it's going to do that. You can have the idea that it should do that, yes, but it's still an unknown. What can I control? Okay, I can control my risk. Okay, I got stopped out, all right? But I got stopped out for less than what I initially risked putting on the trade, okay? And if this had gone the other way and had just gone straight up and gone above this high and then maybe went higher, I would have been extremely thankful that I only got stopped out for 7.6, right? Like I'm thankful that I only got stopped out for, yeah, like I said, $6, right? $6.86. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I can only control my risk. So, and today when I trade the London session, it's really like to make back $6. Okay, you don't need a lot of movement to make back $6. Now my max risk at the moment is 0.25%, which is about $20 on this size account. It's $20 point something. So all I've got to do, if I risk, you know, 0.6 lots again on another trade that happens today in London, all I need is 7.6 pips, okay, in my favor, yes, and then I've made back this loss, right? So it doesn't worry you. Whereas you got to be careful if you go the other way and you don't care about the risk and you're focused too much on making money. Some people, and maybe you've even done this, would have got stopped out here and gone, ah, oh, shit, and then bought, okay, gone, oh shit, it's going up, I'm going to buy long, and then got stopped out again, and maybe you risked even more next, like this time, and you saw that and you going, oh man, it's going up now, I just got stopped out, it must be going up. And then you bought long, and then it stops you out, and you risked or used more leverage, more contracts, right? Now you're compounding your losses the wrong way. You want to be cutting your risk. You want to be cutting your risk as you take a losing trade. So that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say. You've got to look at it as, okay, I took a loss, yes. I'm going to record this in my journal that the trade idea was fine. The trade idea itself was okay. It done this, it took out Asia high, then it took out the previous day's high into the new week opening gap. Okay, then it broke down, and then after a retracement, it then went and took the Asia low. Okay, the trade idea itself was fine. It worked out, but maybe I just put my stop too tight. Okay, but even though that might have not have been the best decision to make, putting my stop down to here, I still only lost a very small amount. Okay, and to get that sort of loss back really isn't much at all. So I'm going to leave it at that. Focus on the risk, guys. Focus on the risk. That's really helped me out, is focusing on the risk. Okay, focusing on your plan, focusing on your entry. You can control your entry. Focusing on the risk, focusing on how much you're risking in terms of percentages, how many lots is that. You can control that. But then once you get into that trade, like once I got into this trade here, the only thing that I can do, okay, the only thing that I can do is I can do two things. I have my initial stop up here, and I can reduce that as the trade goes in my favor. So I can cut risk as the trade moves in my favor. Okay, or I can think of it or not the opposite way, or I can think about as the trade moves in my favor, should I be taking a partial here? Okay, that is the other side of it. Now I marked out this area as my first partial, and that's what I was sticking to. But yeah, focus on the risk. Focus on, okay, the trade's moving in my favor. Good. Can I reduce my risk here? Okay, yes. I'm going to reduce it down to this high, or if you're in a long position, I'm going to put it up to this low. And like I said, as it moves, you want to cut your risk. And if this happens, so what? Okay, so what? I lost a very, very small amount, extremely small amount, and there'll be another opportunity tomorrow, or like this afternoon in London. There'll be another opportunity. So, all right, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much. Hope you found this one insightful, and yeah, have a great day.